The Denver Broncos just found their secret weapon so that Bo Nix continues to improve each and every week. As it stands right now, the Broncos have a 68% chance of making the playoffs, which is fantastic. Where I graduated from at Thornton High School, 68%. That puts you in the running to be valedictorian. We will take it after 8 years of missing the playoffs. We will take 68%, knowing that we have the Raiders and then the Browns and then a bye week. Like, we control our destiny, and when we exploit this new wrinkle in the Shawn Payton offense that is finally working, we are going to be unstoppable. If you're new to this channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben. It helps me out a ton and the YouTube algorithm out as well if you would like and subscribe. So in that dominating bounce-back performance against the Atlanta Falcons, one thing that jumped out to every single person that watched it was just the plethora of screens that were working. And we know there have been times as a Broncos fan where that screen game would make us bash our heads against the wall because you're like, Shawn Payton, the screen game's not working. And defenses knew exactly how to stop us. And we had no 1-2 punch. We had one punch, and it was getting stopped over and over and over. But we know that's a pivotal part of Shawn Payton's game. And what we are seeing and why Bo Nix is improving each and every week, it all is coming down to just this creative play calling and the screen game. And that's why even he essentially said, I wouldn't say we're giddy, but finally these were starting to happen. So you look at a year and a half of Shawn Payton being a Denver Broncos coach, the screen game would never work. And now it is working. And it is working because this offense is so complex. We have heard Dick Vermeil say that Shawn Payton is an offensive genius. We've seen Chase Daniels take the Shawn Payton playbook that's like bigger than the entire Harry Potter series and be like, look at how complex this is. And what we're seeing is Bo Nix is getting new chapters revealed to him and available to him each and every week, and we're seeing the results. And I just want to show some of these results here of just some of these different screens that we're seeing, and why when Bo Nix has this in his arsenal, you really don't know how to game plan for it. And it is exactly why Shawn Payton moved on from Russell Wilson, that Russell Wilson can do one thing and one thing only, and props to Mike Tomlin because he's got Russell Wilson doing that one thing. Shawn Payton wanted a quarterback who he could reveal the entire playbook to and who could do all these things, because Shawn Payton thrives on having film out there and getting a look and then getting the Broncos into the look that negates that look. And so you just see just gorgeous screenplays here with the guards getting downfield. I love this one here because you see Quinn Miners just absolutely run through a defender here. And it's like, man, I would never... You couldn't pay me enough money to let Quinn Miners with a head of steam come at me. Like, absolutely wild, wild work there. Seeing another screen here, we saw two Bo Nix screen touchdowns, one to Troy Franklin, then this one here to Marvin Mims. And I guess this is, I thought it'd be easier to talk if it was slow, but that's going a little too slow. So let's speed it up here. So you see Marvin Mims here. And again, you see our guards get out and pull. And what is amazing to me and makes me so incredibly excited about the future for this Broncos team is that we have just seen so many different things with Bo Nix this year that as an opposing defense, the more film you get on him, it's not easier to stop him. It's harder because we've seen games where Bo Nix leads this team in rushing. We've seen games where we're running the read option. We see games where he succeeds under center, games when he succeeds from shotgun. And this is going to be nasty work, what we do as Bo Nix continues to just master this offense. Here was the gorgeous one to Troy Franklin. Just seeing that you have two wide receiver screens both in the same area of the field that look so different at the line of scrimmage that you don't know how to prep for it as a defense. And, there's a lot of people who are already trying to write this game off as like, oh, the Atlanta Falcons are a bad defense. They have never had a team drop this kind of yardage on them. We took our rookie quarterback out at the end of that game. Like, we completely dominated it. And it's incredibly exciting to think of what this offense can be with this new Shawn Payton playbook that is going to get bigger and more complex by the week. We really are hitting our stride at the perfect time. November is when you want to be playing your best football. We thought our best football was maybe when we were on that 3-game win streak earlier in the season. And Shawn Payton and Bo Nix were like, hold up, man. You haven't even seen our ceiling yet. And I still don't think we've seen the ceiling for this offense. Baldinger here does a great job breaking down here. Brian Baldinger goes on DNVR all the time. I love it. This wrinkle of having Marvin Mims lined up in the backfield and all of the amazing things that you can do out of it. There's times Marvin Mims is back there and we hand him the ball. There are times that you're motioning him and checking if you're in man, and then he's going out. You're seeing times with him on a receiver reverse, and then watching just how deadly this is, where you see him in the backfield actually doing a wheel route. And it would be hard for a linebacker to keep up with Javonte on a wheel route. You're not keeping up with Marvin Mims on a wheel route. And so I just love, we are finally starting to see that offensive genius who we have really thought we had in Shawn Payton, and now it is coming true. And all of it is contingent on us having the best offensive line in football. Shawn Payton this is the highest paid offensive line. He said their energy, their effort permeates the entire building. And if you take a look at multiple metrics from multiple different data sources, this one here rates the average score of your tackle, your guards, and your center. And if you look that we have some of the highest graded tackles, massive shout out to McGlinchey, massive shout out to Garrett Bowles. And then our guard play here that we have, some of the best. Obviously, you have first-round draft pick guards here in the Colts. And then our center, even with the Wattenberg, Forsythe back and forth, we are still grading out as the best offensive line in football. And then you look at it on another metrics, which I think right here, and this is just based on pure pass pro. And this is wild, wild work. And I think Bo Nix helps that offensive line in a lot of ways and does not self-sack and checks at the line and is able to get that ball out of his hands quickly. But it is definitely a partnership. And I think as the Broncos are thinking of what to do with all of their cap space, at the start of the season, I was like, man, we probably can't afford to bring Bowles back. And now I'm thinking, how can we afford to move on from Bowles? We've seen what having a great offensive line does for this team. Love this play right here from Garrett Bowles, a little Garrett Bowles appreciation here. He knows his dude is taken care of by Miners, and watch him just come lay out and help his tight end there. I actually loved the roughing or the pass or what was it, a illegal contact or something like that when he jumped on the dude who was on Bo Nix's legs. You just see that this is a young and hungry team who believes in each other, and that is insanely, insanely exciting. Shout out Bumblebee on Twitter, kind of pointed this out as well. But this is a team that believes in each other and loves each other. And I think as I've watched all of the post-game press conferences from that Atlanta Falcons victory, Bo Nix put up wild numbers. Nick Bonito should have had 3 sacks, had 2 because they called one of it a fumbled snap and just a normal tackle. But you see all these incredible, Pat Surtain didn't allow a single catch in coverage, but the play that everyone was so excited about was the play in which the entire offense essentially lifted Javonte up and pushed him across the line, across the end zone. And that is a team that has a together culture, and we've seen these seeds kind of laid all season long, and it's culminating now. It's culminating at the best possible time. And you're looking right now, if the season were to end today, we would be in. My biggest hope for this, how this season plays out, I would love if somehow we could go to Pittsburgh week 1, because I think we would play extremely well if we had another shot at that defense. I think our defense would have the answer key for how to stop Russell Wilson, and it would just be the complete full circle is like, let's end this season somehow playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. So whether that means we jump up over top of the Chargers, which is very possible. They still have games against the Ravens, the Falcons, the Falcons and the Chiefs. So they have 3 hard games still, and then they have to play us. Or whether that is somehow that the Steelers topple the Bills and we play them as the 7th seed going to number 2. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I think that would be the ideal matchup from a story standpoint, from a hype standpoint, from a vibe standpoint. But it doesn't matter who we play, because we're going to the playoffs. This team is good, and that's something we can all believe in. Sorry, my ball got